Hello, everyone. We are live. Did you guys see this tweet by Jack Dorsey on August 21st? We're going to go over this is one of the many examples that I see every day. I'm only sharing the best with you guys, okay? Because this is happening all the time. You know, when people say like, "Oh yeah, Armin woke dogma is bad, it's bad," but it's not that bad. And like, no, it's slowly going mainstream. It's like, no, they're just a fringe group. I'm like, no, they're not. I mean, the problem is that we don't have any meta-analysis of this, but there's so many. I mean, we're still at the level of a hypothesis, but there are just too many examples like this to show that all of this crap is going mainstream. And this, I just come here and share it with you guys. Do you guys see this tweet? How's my audio, by the way? Oh, Marco is saying sounds good. Thank you. Jack is saying, he tweeted this, saying $10 million to Dr. Ibram Kendi and the Center of, guys, is it weird that it says Center for Anti-Racist, but is it weird that the first thing I saw was Antichrist? That shows you where my mind is, okay? Center for Anti-Racist Research at BU. This research will inform and fuel much needed and overdue policy change. I appreciate you, Dr. Kendi, and I'm grateful for your work. Do you guys know why this is such a bad news? Do you guys know who Dr. Ibram Kendi is? Do you guys know? By the way, if you're not watching this live, that means that you didn't hit the notification bell. So please, okay, if you're be subscribed, but that's not enough. Hit the notification bell so you could join us live. So I could look, I'm highlighting Deborah. Deborah is here. Hi. Marco is here. Soha is here telling me audio is great. Jagan is here. Marco. And then on Twitch, we have people on Twitch. Link to our Twitch in the description. P2020 is here. Marco is here on Twitch as well. Right, so join us live so we can have an engagement. So it's not just me telling you guys. You could talk back, and we have we have some back and forth, and you guys could tell me what I'm wrong, or, and correct me. All right, but do you guys know who this Dr. Ibram Kendi is? Let me actually. Oh, hold on. Let's go look at it. We'll come back to this tweet, okay? Because I was trying to collect some information about some of the quotes from Dr. Ibram Kendi, but Benjamin Boyce already did that for us, so we don't have to do it. And we'll go over some of the stuff that Ibram Kendi said. But before we do that, let's see why it's even significant, why this guy is such a big deal. I mean, a lot of people in the live chat already know this is like, if we have the king and the queen of this whole anti-racism religion that is spreading in the United States. By the way, for the people who are not familiar here, if it sounds like if you're new to this whole woke dogma, you might be like, oh my god, Armin is against anti-racism. Again, anti-racism is not anti-racism here. They just call it anti-racism. Their anti-racism is genuine racism, okay? But we'll get into that. Oh, Deborah is saying, love your notification rants, Armin. Thank you. I do what I want, Armin. I hit that notification. Okay, good. You do you. Soha is reminding everybody to like and subscribe. Thank you, Soha. All right, let's go over this article. Twitter CEO Jack Dorsey donates $10 million to Ibram Kendi, who wants to make racism unconstitutional. This research will inform and fuel much needed and overdue policy change. Okay, let's see. Twitter CEO Jack Dorsey announced on Thursday that he was donating $10 million to Boston University Center for Anti-Racist Research, a project recently launched by the anti-racist scholar Ibram X. Kendi. Every time I see this, I want to say Antichrist. What's wrong with me? Anti-racist scholar Ibram X. Kendi. Kendi is the author of the 2019 book, How to Be an Anti-Racist. By the way, I think this book is the second bestseller after Robin DiAngelo's White Fragility. Oh, I was going to say that. Yeah, in the United States, I didn't finish that thought. In the United States, you have the king and the queen of this whole anti-racism religion. The king is this guy. He's the king of this cult. in the United States at least, and the queen is Robin DiAngelo. Okay, so there's two Bibles for this whole anti-racist nonsense. Again, when I say anti-racist nonsense, I'm referring to what they call anti-racism, because I am anti-racist. Okay, I just don't trust these people when they say their brand of anti-racism. Okay, again, I'm going to refer to it as the woke cult, so to not cause confusion, because it's going to sound like I'm racist if I'm against anti-racism, right? So there's two Bibles. One of them is How to Be an Anti-Racist, and the other one is White Fragility. Okay, and these are the two main books that corporate America is now using, to in all their diversity training and equity offices and all that stuff. And they're pouring millions and millions of dollars in every single major organization and big, companies with billions of dollars of budget. This is going to be pocket change for them anyways, right? And they have to do it because they don't want the backlash of not doing it. So this cult is getting major funding, so that's why it's growing. And now it's got another shot in the arm with $10 million by Jack Dorsey, right? The interesting thing is actually Ibram Kendi's book, How to Be an Anti-Racist, is actually has a lot of views that is in direct disagreement with Robin DiAngelo. Anyways, let's continue. One of the two books, they actually mentioned one of the two books that attracted renewed attention following the death of George Floyd. The other is Robin DiAngelo's White Fragility. Okay. So they actually mentioned, okay, good. In a tweet, he thanked Dorsey for the grant, which came with no strings attached. Dorsey, by the way, I'm going to pay attention to the live chat as well. Whereas is saying Ibram Kendi is becoming wealthy promoting this nonsense. Honestly, guys, I don't care if they become wealthy, if they were pushing good stuff, if they were pushing stuff that, like, if you're becoming wealthy or not becoming wealthy, that shouldn't be an issue. You could become wealthy by spreading good information out there that helps people. Like, I think the fact that this is nonsense, dangerous nonsense, is more of an issue to me than the fact that they're making a lot of money off of it. Like, I that's not a factor. Like, if they were actually if they were getting really, really rich out of a book that was helping a lot of people, I was like, great, become rich, good. Dorsey replied that he hoped the center's research would inform and fuel much needed and overdue policy change. The CEO of Twitter is more than welcome to spend his financial... now it's becoming... So this is what, guys, be careful, because this is more of an opinion piece than just the news. So I think the news just ended here. Let me zoom in for you guys. I think the news just ended and the opinion now just started. The CEO of Twitter is more than welcome to spend his financial resources however he sees fit. He can give money to anybody he wants for any reason. But since Kendi intends to have an impact on public policy, and since these funds presumably will help Kendi fulfill his goals, it's worth scrutinizing what kinds of policy changes he has in mind. We're going to go through that, but I think it's more interesting than this right now is just the views of Ibram Kendi. Let's actually step out of this article for a second and read a quote by Ibram Kendi, and then go back to the article to look at what kind of policy changes he was, right? Let me actually check out with you guys if anybody said anything. Yeah, Soha's reminding anybody, if you want to make sure that I see what you're saying, make sure you tag Atheist Republic, okay? Okay, so this one is saying the only remedy to racist discrimination is anti-racist discrimination. Okay, you remember, guys, when I told, like, it's very interesting because when you talk to a whole bunch of leftist people and you try to warn them about how illiberal and how anti civil rights the values of the civil rights movement, some of these woke cult people have become. And they're like, these people are actually promoting discrimination, and the response is like, no, you're exaggerating, Armin. It's not. They're not promoting discrimination. That's just what you think, and they, it's just when people who are in privilege, when they lose that privilege, to them that looks like discrimination or oppression or something like that. Like, you know what? I'm not actually saying that they are in favor of discrimination. It's not just me that's saying. They actually spell it out. Like, it's not, they're not hiding this. It's not like my interpretation of what they're trying to push. That, like, I'm not saying, like, look, if you actually effectively what they're doing is discriminating. Now, that's not my argument. They literally say it. I stop myself from swearing right now. Okay, see, I'm getting so much better at this. They literally say it. They say it. They just like, no, like, yeah, we're discriminating. We're discriminating based on skin color. So here's a quote. The only remedy to racist discrimination is anti-racist discrimination. The only remedy to past discrimination is present discrimination. The only remedy to present discrimination is future discrimination. So they want discrimination. They want discrimination. They want discrimination now, and they want discrimination forever against white people. Future, like now, before, now, and forever. Future discrimination. So this is not about removing barriers and lifting people up. This is about putting people down. And here's the thing, you might think of something. Okay, they want to discriminate based on race. Is there a name for that? What is that called? I think I remember. Discriminate based on race. It's called racism. It's racism, guys. That's called racism. That's why Ibram Kendi is redefining racism, but not in the same way that you guys are familiar with. Like, the woke people, they say, like, it's not racism unless you're in power, unless you're institutional. No. Ibram Kendi has a new definition for racism, which is a little bit different, which I think you could capture it in this screenshot. Okay, this is from his book. Again, thank you so much for the Benjamin Boyce to making this easy for us. This is from his book, How to Be an Anti-Racist, page 19. Okay, so it goes. I'm gonna read the whole thing. Yeah, no, should I read the second paragraph? Let me hold on. Making discrimination in favor or against an individual based on that person's race, then racial discrimination is not entirely. Okay, let me actually read the whole thing. Since the 1960s, racist power has commemorated the term racial discrimination, transforming the act of discriminating on the basis of race into inherently racist act. But, okay, you see that? There's a but coming here. There's a but. So he's saying that we used to be like, oh, if you discriminate based on race, that's inherently racist. But, so he said, now, you know why this but is here? Because these people want to be racist. These people want to discriminate based on race, and they don't want to be called out for their racism. So that's where this but comes. This is why we have a but here. Because they're like, but that's what this is an admission that that's what we do. Like, oh, discriminating based on race, that's inherently racist. But that's us. We don't want to stop discriminating based on race. We just have to change what racism means. Let's continue. But if racial discrimination is defined as treating, considering, or making distinction in favor or against an individual based on that person's race, then racial discrimination is not inherently racist. What? But if racial discrimination is defined as treating, considering, or making a distinction in favor or against an individual based on that person's race, then racial discrimination is not inherently racist. How? But if racial discrimination is defined as treating, considering, or making explain, elaborate. The defining question is whether the discrimination is creating equity or inequity. Okay, I get it. So I don't think this guy is a good writer. Okay, so basically what he's trying to say is it doesn't matter if the discrimination is, if you're discriminating people based on their race. What matters, what in his worldview is what makes something racist or not, is if you're creating equity or inequity, right? So that means that if, like, for example, race A is over here, you see, guys, like, hold on. Let me show you guys. Let's say if race A is over here and race B is below here, okay? Anything you do that makes this gap bigger, that's racist. Anything you do that makes this gap smaller, that's not racist. Okay? So in his mind, if I discriminate against these people that are on top based on their race, if I discriminate against so that I could push them down, because this is creating equity, that's not racist. So like, to him, it's not discrimination. It's not about discrimination based on race. It's about, oh, I'm just reducing the distance here. So that's not racist. We got a new member, Amoeba. Amoeba is a new member. Thank you so much, Amoeba. Wow, thank you. So that's how it works. But tell me, guys, where in history have you seen this being the definition of racism? Not based on skin color, not based on race, based on whether or not you're creating equity or inequity. It's just like, this is exactly why some people think that, oh, you're just smuggling in Marxism, aren't you? You're just smuggling in like Marxism, like we're talking about race, you're talking about equity and inequity. This is something else, isn't it? Like you just like, oh, like, how card tricks, like you're looking over there and some all of a sudden you smuggle in the card and you're just like, oh my god, where did that came from? This is just like that. Just like this is Marxist ideology. It's like you just remove racism is not about race anymore. What the hell? Racism is about equity and inequity. All right. Okay, so if discrimination is creating equity, then it is. Oh, if this, oh my god, look, they spill it out. I don't even have to explain. If discrimination is creating equity, then it's anti-racist. Guys, if discrimination based on race is creating equity, then it's anti-racist. This is why I'm telling you guys, anti-racism is just racism. Anti-racism is the new racism, okay? Because he just said that discrimination based on race could be anti-racist. So what we considered before, discrimination based on race, we considered that racism. So what we used to consider racism could, in this guy's mind, be actually anti-racism. It's like a magic trick. It's like pulling a rabbit out of a hat. Hold on, let me see. P is saying welcome and thanks. Yeah, thank you, P, for thanking people. That's very nice. We have a good community. Every time somebody joins in as a member, we have like a welcoming community, right? Another member saying, if you put one part of society down, then in the long run, you will put down the society as a whole. See communism. Yeah, this is not the right way to create inequity. You have P2020 saying, is there revisionist racism? Yeah, that's a good way of saying. Ethan is saying it's the beginning of fascism. I don't know. I mean, I don't like to say it's the beginning of this and that, because I feel like this is already bad. Like, I like to not I like to not predict what this going to lead to. I can be like, I don't know what this is going to lead to. This is already horrible. That's all I know. Okay. If it could lead to this, it could lead to that. I don't know what it could lead to. It's already bad. I already hate it. As it is, I hate it. All right. So we should stop this just because how it is right now, no matter what it's going to lead to. Ronald saying, I think that the problem is that the people want to fight discrimination. People will always have prejudices, and the sooner we accept this, the better the world will be. I don't know. I think I don't like the hashtag All Lives Matter, because I think that misses the point. I think there's a better way to fight this kind of woke dogma, all right? But I could, if you want to ask me about it, I could tell you after we go over all of this, right? But I think it's okay to fight prejudice. Yeah, there will always be prejudice, but it's not like we could have less prejudice. Just because we will always have prejudice, that doesn't mean we shouldn't fight prejudice. We could have less prejudice, even though we still will have prejudice. I just think that their method is just the worst way of fighting it. I don't think that they're wrong because they're fighting prejudice and we will always have prejudice. No, fight prejudice. I think their methods is going to increase not just implicit forms of racism. I think these methods are going to promote explicit form of racism. Amoeba is saying that's why I dislike caste-based reservation in India. Oh, Shopam is here. Shopam could comment on that to you, but I'm not going to get into that because I'm not that familiar with that, right? Okay, where were we? Creating it, then it's racist. What was the anti-racist that I just read? If discrimination is creating equity, then it's if discrimination is creating inequity, then it's racist. So it's not even based on it doesn't matter if it's like the whole look, if discrimination is creating inequity, then it's racist. It's like as if it's not about race anymore. This is like, yeah, smuggling and Marxism. This is about someone reproducing inequity through permanently. Guys, can you believe that this is like the second best-selling book on anti-racism in the United States? These are the people that are getting the millions of dollars funding, and these are the people that are their books are being used as gospel in corporate America to promote diversity and equality. This is what's passing. This is what is passing on as a solution right now in the United States. Someone reproducing inequity through permanently assisting an over-represented racial group into wealth and power is entirely different than someone challenging the inequity by temporarily assisting an underrepresented racial group into relative wealth and power until equity is reached, which is never. Guys, this is like okay, so here's the problem with the equity that they're talking about, guys, here is equality in outcome rather than equality in opportunity. And because this equality in outcome will never be achieved, not within any of our lifetimes or until we become like, I don't know, transhumanist or post-humanist stuff, right? Not like, because this will not happen, they will, any form of inequality in outcome for them will be a sign of racism. Will be racism by definition, by their definition, right? So it's not. This is so much like religion, right? Because the goal, like whether the Messiah is going to come or the Mahdi is going to come, that will never happen. But you constantly create goals based on achieving that outcome that you kind of assume that it's not going to happen, so you could continue making yourself relevant based on trying to achieve something that will never be achievable, right? See, someone yeah. Here, Benjamin Boyce actually highlighted this part, so I think this is going to be the most important part. But let me actually see if I missed something. It's entirely different than someone challenging the inequity by temporarily assisting the underrepresented. Right, so see, this is not just about lifting people up. This is also about pushing people down. Someone reproducing inequity through... Okay, hold on. Let's continue. The only remedy to racist discrimination is anti-racist discrimination. Nothing says... Thank you so much, guys. Thank you for making this easy for us. Thank you for saying so easily, so clearly in black and white that we are pro-discrimination. Can you guys... Do you think that a lot of the people that are going out and spreading woke dogma, do you think they know where these ideas are coming from? Do you think if we go to some of these protests and tell them, hey, what do you think about discrimination? Do you think that's a good thing? Are you pro-discrimination or anti-discrimination? I bet you most of them will be like, what the hell are you asking us? Of course we're against discrimination. But you do know, the leading people in this movement are saying, yay to discrimination. This is I sometimes can't believe that these are the ideas that are getting so much. They're passing. You know what this reminds me of? It reminds me of Muslims who I say hey, did you know Muhammad did this and had sex with a 9-year-old? They're like, what? No. Did you know that this is in the Quran? They're like, no, I would never support a religion that says that. And then you show them and they're shocked and they have to be like, well, maybe it means something else. This is kind of like this because, again, I always tell you, the people in the middle, in the circle, in the the people that are in the center of all these ideas, they have certain views that anybody that likes liberalism or Enlightenment values, they would be like, yeah, I would never promote these ideas. But they don't know that their movement is based on this kind of text and this kind of doctrine, right? And they're spreading it without actually knowing it. Like, they consider themselves liberal. Most of these people consider themselves liberal, and they don't know that the people that are leading this movement, they're not only anti-liberal, effectively anti-liberal, but they're also self-declaring anti-liberal. Like, they don't hide that. They are against the values that started the civil rights movement. They're against the Enlightenment values. They're pro-discrimination. I mean, it doesn't get more obvious than this. They're pro-discrimination. Then it continues. The only remedy to past discrimination is present discrimination. The only remedy to present discrimination is future discrimination. This, you know what this means? It means this will never end. This will never end. This is another problem that will be solved. You just have to deal with us forever. As President Lyndon B. Johnson said in 1965, you do not take a person who for years has been hobbled by chains and liberate him, bring him up to the starting line of a race, and then say, you are free to compete with all the others and still justly believe that you have been completely fair. As U.S. Supreme Court Justice Harry Blackmun wrote in 1978, in order to get beyond racism, we must first take account of race. There is no other way, and in order to treat some persons equally, we must treat them differently. I agree with these quotes, but that's not your conclusion, okay? The problem is that I agree. Like, if in a community of people had a major disadvantage for years and years and years, if you remove that disadvantage, you cannot expect them to now just pick up where everybody else left them and just be like, okay, now everything is okay. You need to lift that community. You need to do more. You need to do more than just not discriminating. You need to help lift them up. I am so for lifting that community up, even beyond just removing the discrimination. But what you're promoting is not that. Mr. Kendall, is that how you say his last name? You're lifting a community up does not require you discriminating, you pushing another community down. You are openly advocating for pushing another community down. Let me see if I missed anything from you guys. Did I miss anything? Yeah, I did. P2020 is saying, if discrimination is creating equity, then it's anti-racist. So you're quoting their book. It's saying, is it fair then to think that of affirmative action, reservation quotas et al. Along this quote, or is it something else? It's more than that. We'll get to that. We'll get to what he's trying to do in the second part of that article. Ethan is saying the U.S. government should incentivize interracial married. Racism would be solved within 20 years. I mean, I like interracial. I do agree that interracial marriage will solve all of this crap. I just don't think the government should tell us who to marry. Somebody here is saying atheism is stupid. Wow, you got us, Galberry. Is that? Oh my God! What a major burn! Holy crap, guys! Let's just pack it up. Let's just shut this channel. This guy. Wow! Look at this. Look at this comment. Holy whoo! We're done, guys. This is it. We can never recover from this. Let me see. Another member, Andor, who is another member. Thank you for being member. Saying, I'm waiting the day that the first woke churches are built. It might happen. Oh yeah, here's another major brand by Cadbury. Deny the creator. So stupid. Oh my god, thank you for enlightening us. Wow. Where were you for the past 15 years? I needed you. Like you were so my god, thank you so much. Armin the Navabian Jesus. We have okay. Armin the Navabian Jesus is saying many scholars say that Aisha was 19 years old. No, they don't. Which scholars? They're not scholars. Every major hadith says she was 9. Many scholars might. God, this is just a reformer strength. It doesn't say. It's very clear based on the hadith that she was 9. Sahih Bukhari and Sahih Muslim. She just literally says 9. This is like the whole reformist are saying like, 9 actually means 19 here. Sure. Yeah, she was playing with dolls, by the way, right before she got married. GV saying, by the way, why are we talking about Muhammad right now? That's my fault. I shouldn't have brought it up. GV saying, would you support a policy like this if it was introduced a century back when black people were barred from universities, schools, and public places? A policy like what? Right now it's just being ideas are being spread here. There's no policy. I'll get to the policies that he's suggesting later, maybe like some of them at least. I would never support. Okay, so policies based. I like policies that is about lifting people up. I don't like policies that is about putting people down. Okay, and a lot of these policies that would lift up the black community doesn't even have to be about race. Some of them has to be, but most of them has to be about addressing poverty. Okay, and just because the black community is already being suffering from poverty more than other communities, if you just target poverty, you're already targeting them more, and you wouldn't even have to discriminate based on race. You could just discriminate based on poverty, right? And that would be, yeah. It's getting pretty obvious what they are about is when they say science is racist. Yep. They're making our job easier. All right. Oh, affirmative action. I mentioned I had another video recently. We talked about affirmative action. It was about university, so you could look that up. Did I just get disconnected? My God, you guys are gonna take the changes to a debate about God now. Do not feed the troll. We're talking about here. Let's go. Let's look at some of the policies that this guy wants to do, and then we'll focus on the live chat. Here. In a 2019 piece for Political magazine, Kenty proposed a constitutional amendment that would prohibit racism. Here is the idea in full. So this is the policy change. This is the ideas that one of the major ideas put forward by Kenty. To fix the original sin of racism. Guys, why are they like, we don't even have to try, right? Look at this. Keep saying like this woke dogma is like a religion. We don't even have to show it to you guys. Like, I just have to read what their own I just have to read you their own text. This is why people are like, why are we covering this on Atheist Republic? What does this got to do with religion? There you go. What does this got to do with religion? There you go. Is that enough excuse for you guys for why this needs to be covered on Atheist Republic? To fix the original sin of racism, Americans should pass an anti-racist amendment to the United States Constitution that enshrines two guiding anti-racist principles: racial inequity. Racial inequity is evidence of racist policy. Guys, you do understand that we will never have any true given population in the United States. You're never going to have equality in outcome between them. Even if you just focus on like white people, right? Let's say white people with Irish background and white people with German background. Look at their income, measure it, compare it. It's not going to be equal. I don't even know what the numbers are. I don't even have to check. I know it's not going to be equal. It's just not going to be equal. Look at the income of Jewish community in the United States and compare that to, I don't know, Persian or Indian or whatever. Just pick whatever. They're not going to be equal. Or just Jewish to white. Compare that. It's not going to be equal. This is why equality of outcome is such a stupid goal. And the problem is that it's not just a goal, an unattainable goal, is that they will, once when you're not going to be able to attain it, they're going like, yep, racism proved. You know why this? Okay, this is very similar to religion. Here, let me tell you guys this, right? You know, for example, in Christianity and Islam, it's very smart. It's very smart that they made masturbation a sin. Think about masturbation. Don't think about it too much, though. It doesn't harm anybody. Okay? So it's one of the things that they made to a sin, something that doesn't harm anybody. You think that's stupid. Why would they make that a sin? It makes so much sense why they make that a sin. Okay? Especially because, I mean, this is not like some evil genius is like, let's do this to people so that we can manipulate them and make them like control them this way. No, it's something that works, and because it works, it gets, enshrined within the meme of Islam and Christianity. It's like it's natural selection of the memes rather than genes, right? But it's there because most teenagers are going to fail at not masturbating, and they're going to feel dirty, and they're going to feel sinful, and they're going to need cleansing, and they're going to need the church or the mosque or the priest or the pastor or the mom to be like yeah, I have a disease, there's something wrong with me, so I need you guys. This is again, they always say sin is an imaginary disease invented to sell you an imaginary cure. This is exactly what this is. This racism is a real thing. That's the problem. It's a real thing, but they want to see it in places that it doesn't exist so that they could sell you their books and their consulting and their get $10 million budgets and all of that stuff, right? This is exactly the same strategy. The problem is that sin is 100% imaginary, but racism, because they're doing a little bit more damage here, because racism is actually a problem, by creating an imaginary version of racism, then they're harming us being able to detect the real forms of racism as well, right? So this is the way that they make sure that you find racism everywhere, is by saying one sign of racial inequity is when there is any form of difference between racial groups. This guarantees that you will always have, that you will never achieve non-racism. It guarantees it, and will keep them. This guarantees that will always be relevant, that they will always be needed. Like, anyways, it's exactly the same strategy. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Thank you. Ronald is saying, if you think about the fact that according to evolution, biologists, humans will be one race eventually, don't you think all these race policies actually don't make sense? Well, one day, first of all, we are okay. So race is defined in different ways. Race in biology, the way that race is defined in biology, we're already only one race, anyways. But the race is what we refer to race in social sciences and in common usage, day-to-day usage. What biologists refer to that as populations. They don't refer to that as races, right? And but the thing that is going to happen one day is, it doesn't matter. We have these problems today. So how long are you going to wait for that to happen? But supporting okay, let me highlight some other people comments, especially our members. P2020 on Twitch is saying, yes, like religions, this cult is marketing an imaginary boogeyman to sell a bogus remedy. Exactly, P2020. Marco is saying, masturbation doesn't harm any. Marco, serious comments. Okay, I'm just going to leave your joke comment for anybody who wants to read it, but I'm not going to read it. We're not going to make this about masturbation. That would be a different show. Okay, hold on. Racial inequity is evidence of racist policy, and the different racial groups are equal. Oh, and the different racial groups are equals. Okay. The amendment. Okay, here. I think that we said we ended up here. The amendment would make unconstitutional racial inequity over a certain threshold. Okay, so it's allowing a little bit of space for you to move around. Okay, but over that, there should be zero inequity over racial inequity. Wow. So guys, that means that what this guy wants is that if you go measure any whatever metric he wants. So if you go measure that in Jewish people and then measure that in white people, I don't think this is what he means. But effectively, if you want to be consistent, then if you see a big enough gap between them, that is unconstitutional. What does that mean for that to be unconstitutional? Like, who is doing something like, let's say your statistical results will be unconstitutional. Like, hey, look, we have a difference. Like, white people on average are making more than black people. Okay, that's unconstitutional. What does that mean? Okay, who's doing something illegal here then? Like, that doesn't make any sense. Okay, so I say the amendment would make unconstitutional racial inequity over a certain threshold, as well as racist ideas by public officials. Wow. This is like the moral police. Guys, they're introducing moral police. Who decides that these public officials have racist ideas? If it's you guys, then holy crap. Imagine that. This is the person, guys, that got a $10 million funding just right now by Jack Dorsey. And that's not even, that's not their entire funding, just to be clear. They're getting millions of other funding for other people. This is a person that they want their ideas of who's a racist to be enshrined in the Constitution, and for them to make it unconstitutional for public officials to have racist ideas based on their definition of racism. Does it not get more like, holy crap? Like, is this like, what? No, what are you guys doing? How is this guy getting $10 million in one day? What? Oh no, what is happening to you guys? You guys are lost your minds. Guys, cut this crap out. Okay, continues. It would establish and permanently fund the Department of Anti-Racism, the Department of DOA. They're gonna make this they want to put this in the Constitution and permanently fund the Department of Anti-Racism. This is the religious morality police. This is the morality police. And their definition of what is racist is so broad. This is just a morality police. Everything will be racist based on their definition. They will get involved in everyone's personal life based on what they consider to be racist. This is so scary, guys. I hope this never becomes true. The Department of Anti-Racism comprised of formally trained experts on racism and no political appointees. So they're not, you know what this means? No political appointees. They're not elected. It means the people don't pick who these people are. Trained experts. Who decides if they're trained or not, and who decides whether they're experts? It's based on the ideas of Ibram Kendi. They should be trained based on anti-racism ideas. So Ibram Kendi's ideology decides who's a trained expert. So it's not the politicians, it's not elected officials, it's not the people. This is their takeover of their cult in the government, not just in the government, on the goddamn Constitution. Guys, when I tell you these guys this is even worse than I thought, because I said, like, guys, these people are going mainstream, and people like Ali Rizvi tell me, like, no, they're not gonna go mainstream. They just got a $10 million funding from Jack Dorsey. And their ambitions is not just to be mainstream on the media and on the news and on the movies and on your books and in universities and in your schools and in the kindergarten. That's not just high enough for them. They want to go as high up as having their dogma written within the United States Constitution. That's how high they're thinking. It continues. The DOA, guys, if this doesn't sound like a nightmare to you guys, I don't know what's wrong with you. The DOA would be responsible for pre-clearing all local, state, and federal public policies. Jesus Christ, am I reading this right? The DOA, basically the Department of Anti-Racism, right, would be responsible for pre-clearing all local, state, and federal public policies to ensure they won't yield racial inequity. Oh, God, no. Monitor those policies, investigate private racist policies when racial inequity surfaces, and monitor public officials for expressions of racist ideas. The DOA would be empowered with disciplinary tools to wield over and against policymakers and public officials who do not voluntarily change their racist policy and ideas. Holy goddamn, man, this can't be serious. Like, this sounds like somebody who wants to fearmonger. This would sound like if you wanted to make them look really bad and you're just making up stuff that they're saying, this is what you would write. They're like, then they're going to come for your constitution and they're going to come after your local and your state federal, and they want to monitor everyone's speech, and they want to have their own police and get rid of people who they don't like, and they're going to just call them racist, even if it's, even if it's not racist, it's just based on equity or inequity. It's just some Marxist idea. They're like, this sounds not like reality. This sounds like if a far-right fear-mongering person would want to tell you what these people represent, they're like, yeah, chill, guy, I'm pretty sure it's not that bad, okay? But the problem is, in real life, it's not coming from like a far-right fear-mongering person. This is actually what they're writing. This is their words. Pre-clearing local, every local policy. So basically, if your city wants to be like, hey, we need to fill these potholes, the DOA has to get involved. Like, let me check if you clearing these potholes is going to create equity or inequity. If it creates inequity, then you're racist. Let me tone police every single politician, and they want their own. Look at this, okay? So they don't want to just say, like, have a department that says, like, hey, this is racist, okay? They want to have their own disciplinary tools. So they're like judge, jury, and executioner. They're not the people that come in and fill in a report and be like, hey, we found racism. Hey, government, do something about it. Like, no. We want to have our own disciplinary tools. They're involved. They're doing the due process, and this is not real. This is a dream. This is a dream. This can't be real. This cannot be real. And let me see what you guys are saying. It's a nightmare. Marcus saying, seriously now, this department sounds like woke Gestapo. Yeah, this is crazy. Amoeba, hold on, let me actually read some of your comments before I can. I think there's only a little bit left. Marcus saying, who is the maker of this? Oh my God! Stop arguing about the existence of God, guys. This is not about. Okay, I already read that one. James is saying, this is literally far left, centrally planned authorization authorization Marxism, but hiding itself in cultural issues rather than economic issues. Is it, James? Is it actually hiding itself? It's not doing a very good job at hiding itself. Holy crap, we got a new member. Rahul Sagard, a new member. Wow, we're getting so many new members. You guys are so nice. Hold on. Let me go scroll down. Thank you, Rahul. Sorry for not being able to pronounce your last name. Really appreciate that. My God. Thank you, guys. Wow, we have so many members now. This is great. Okay, I'm going to highlight. I disagree with Ethan. Ethan is saying everyone needs to vote Trump to fight the woke call. I disagree with you, Ethan. I think Trump fuels this crap. I think the woke mob loves a Trump presidency because they want, like, ooh, boogeyman here. Like, oh my God, look at Trump. Be scared. Look at this racist guy. Like, this is why you need us. Their stuff sells better under a Trump presidency. But I know you disagree with me on that. P2020 saying, looks like they have a plan to graduate from unsolicited opinion platforms to national policy level without the people's mandate. Will their Tower of Babel succeed? I do not know. That's a very, wow, you're very poetic in the way you explain things. Justin is here. Hi, Justin. Morning. Awondor is saying, this seems like they are trying to implement woke blasphemy laws. Exactly, woke blasphemy laws. That's a very good way of describing it. Ethan is saying the far left rhetoric is just shy of firing up the people ovens. No, don't exaggerate, guys. Do not exaggerate. Opposing this should be top priority. James saying vote Trump. No, I disagree with you guys. I will highlight your comments because we have a diversity. You guys could disagree with me and all that, and I will highlight you guys. But no, guys. Okay, you're still arguing about God, hey? Member chat. Yes, Justin, thank you so much for being a member. AJ is saying the woke left and the far right feed off each other. Exactly. Okay, James has some opinions here. Justin is saying, yes, the woke crowd loves Trump, but I don't see a reason to think Biden will stand up to the woke call. He won't, but at least he will not be fueling their agenda, their policy, it will take the wind out of their sail. All right, let me continue. Just finish this. It's almost done here. Such an amendment would constitute a brazen assault on the principles of free society. Kendi would like to empower a team of government bureaucrats who are beyond even the normal accountability of the political process. Their job would be to investigate both public and private racism and monitor public officials for expressions of racist ideas. Kendi's promise that what constitutes a racist idea would be clearly defined is hardly reassuring. There's no way such a department could avoid becoming an Orwellian nightmare. Indeed, the very program would necessitate the formation of a kind of speech police. Yes, I mean, they say that directly. This isn't just a bad idea. It's one of the worst ideas ever. I like that. I like this line. This isn't just a bad idea. It's one of the worst ideas ever. In a stepman of the independent women's forum called it woke Stalinism, and she's not even really exaggerating. No, that's exaggerating. Come on, guys. You don't need to use Stalinism. Nobody is being put in concentration camps and shit like that. This is already scary enough. You don't need to exaggerate to make it even more scary. Deal with the level of scary that it already is. Under Kendi's proposal, the government would investigate people for making allegedly racist statements or causing allegedly racial inequities. Okay, that's true. But you're saying this is not even really exaggerating? Come on, guys. They're not going to show up in the night and shoot the people who committed racism. You don't need to exaggerate it. This is already scary. I'm already terrified. You don't need to exaggerate to make me even more terrified. This is not Stalinism. Well, and it's funny because it really follows by saying this isn't really exaggerating. Yes, it is. It's not Stalinism at all. The center will probably work on other projects as well. Kendi's vision for the center calls for multidisciplinary research and policy teams, explained Boston's University in a press release. Researchers across BU from the law, social work, the humanities, computer science, communications and medicine and public health will collaborate with researchers from other universities, as well as data analysis journalists, advocates, and policy experts, blah, blah, blah. But it's discouraging to see so much money being spent, at least partly in service of a cause that would vastly grow the government's power and gravely undermine free speech, if not destroy it entirely. No, it's not going to destroy entirely. Yeah. Dorsey can set whatever speech rules he wants for Twitter. Going after the First Amendment is a different and much more serious matter. Yeah, I agree with that. Actually, yeah, you're right. Putting this in the Constitution would be against the First Amendment. So here's the thing. Let me give you some hope. Okay, let's just not do just fear mongering, guys. This cannot happen. Like, as bad as this is, and as bad as it is that they're becoming more and more mainstream and they're getting so many millions of dollars, I don't think it will ever make it into the Constitution. Like, this is like, it's scary enough that that's their dream and that's how high they're thinking. But you cannot go against the First Amendment. It's really like, this is why Americans should be so grateful for having one of the best constitutions in the goddamn planet. You ungrateful mofos, you have no idea how lucky you are. That whole First Amendment thing, it's such a major barrier to all illiberal ideas. Okay, you guys have to celebrate that and defend that with your lives. Yeah, hold on, let me see. Justin saying, yes, the book called Love's Trump. Oh, yeah, I already read that. Blah, blah, blah. You guys are just arguing over God now with this guy. You can do that. It's fine. I guess fine. I'm not gonna tell you guys not to. Actually, yeah, I should let you guys do what you want. Okay, I'm just gonna not highlight. You guys argue with that guy over God. I'll just highlight people who are okay. Ethan is saying they are already tearing through cities and attacking people. Well, again, I've seen mixed reports on those. I don't know. I've seen so many mixed reports based on where I look. It's hard to know what to trust these days. AJ is saying, just a reminder, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and smash that like button. Yes, thank you so much, AJ. This live chat is so good. Like, I suck at YouTubing so much. This is why this channel is not growing. But the live chat just does what I failed to do so much. Thank you so much, AJ. This is such a loving and supporting community that we're building here. Thank you, AGA, for reminding everybody to subscribe. Yeah, please, guys, subscribe here. Help us grow this channel. Hit the like, and all of that stuff feeds the algorithm and helps the channel grow. And then once the live stream is over, leave a comment after. That really helps. Emma saying, you are not racist, but you're pro-white. Talking about me? I'm not pro any skin color. Yes, the live chat is awesome. AG is saying, okay, you guys are not just talking to each other. Let me see if I just wanted to make sure the people who are members, I highlighted their comments and read them. Now I'm gonna P2020 saying, but if the Americans aren't vigilant enough, cracks can happen in their system. No human system is totally immune from a Trojan horse. Yes, exactly. I wasn't saying that the First Amendment is like a barrier that is not going to you're never going to be able to pass it. Like, obviously it's possible, but it's a major barrier, right? But yeah, that's why I didn't say, oh, don't worry about it, you have that. That's why I said defend it with your lives, right? I didn't say like, oh, you have the major barrier, so it's okay, then don't worry about it. I didn't say that. I said defend it because it needs defending. Lavender Blue is saying Trump 2020. Sorry, Armin. It's okay. You guys could be Trump supporters. I will be anti-Trump. You guys be Trump supporters. You guys. There's a lot of disagreements with me in the live chat, and that's why I like the live chat. The live chat could tell me why I'm wrong, and I could tell you why you're wrong. It's fine. I could be right. You guys could be wrong. Everything is possible. I hate you saying accelerationism 2020. Ooh, that is dangerous as well. You guys have some very dangerous ideas in the live chat. This this Muslim guy is saying, "Why you blocked me? You're so stupid to what? Who? I didn't block you. You're right here. What are you talking about? This Muslim guy wants to argue God in a live chat about woke dogma. You're in the wrong room, guy. Qalb Bari, is that your name? Qalb Bari? Qalb Bari. All right. I'm gonna go. It's already 1 hour now, so I'm gonna end this here. Is this a Muslim channel? No, it's an anti-Islamic channel. It's not a Muslim channel. But anyways, why are we getting more Muslims here? Is it because like the Dawa guys? We covered the Dawa guys. Is their crew now like leaking over here? Anyways, I'm gonna go. Thank you guys. Oh, we got just 2 more comments. Ronald saying, "You ever find yourself having prejudice, discrimination thoughts?" I think we all got to that one time. I haven't. I'm pretty sure I have it, but I haven't noticed it. But it must be there. I mean, I've been told that we all have it, so I assume it's there without me noticing it. But no, I haven't noticed it. Depends on what you mean, though. For example, I find, yeah, I might get in trouble if I say this. I don't know. Wait, is it racist to say I find certain women for certain races more attractive? Is that racist? I can't help. If that's racist, I don't know what to do. I don't know. It's just true. I can't help it. All right. Bye, guys. Love you all. Like and subscribe. Yes, thank you, Soha, for reminding people. Anyway, yep. See you guys tomorrow. Oh yeah, coming up, new live stream. Check the YouTube channel. Go on the YouTube channel. You can see the next live stream is coming up in less than 11 hours. And on Twitch, you can see on the About page, the next live stream is coming. Guys, on our Discord, link in the description on our Discord channel, the server, on Discord server, under the video recommendation channel. Please recommend more Islamic-related and woke-related videos for me to review, preferably under 15 minutes. Even more preferably under 10 minutes. All right, talk to you guys later. Bye. Hit the notification bell right now. Right now, goddammit. It takes half a second to hit it. Just do it right now. Thank you. Bye.